Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo's Wrestling Room, Tuesday night, November 7, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, you and your phone. Also joined by Marcus Fine, as always. And we got a couple special guests tonight. Pro wrestler Brodie Bodkins, who's been on the show a few times, so everybody knows him. And we have a new pro wrestler. Is it Vrgo?
It is Vrgo.
Okay.
But they're coming to you live from Texas.
Yes, they're
Austin,
live from
Texas,
Texas. They're at the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. So.
Yep, we are about to wrap up. We're in coming into week 12 of our 12-week camp, and we're showcase dropping, as you can see. Side to point to November 19th.
That's awesome. Okay, guys, I'll start with Brodie first. Brodie, how's the experience been for you so far?
I'm first.
How's the experience been for you so far?
Oh, great. It's been phenomenal. Coming down here and learning from one of the best that's ever, done it. A guy that can do multiple things and does what he's asked by a promoter. It's phenomenal. His knowledge for pro wrestling is so much.
What's been the biggest takeaway? What do you think is the biggest thing that you've learned so far?
I would say he's real big on 80s wrestling. So real big on psychology, real big on how stuff's supposed to be done, his way of doing it, and just a real knowledgeable camp if you are trying to further your career in professional wrestling, because you'll learn so much that I can't even explain in words.
Vrgo, how's it been for you so far?
For me personally, it's coming in with a different perspective. Brodie's got tons of experience in wrestling, and it's first time for me, so I had no idea what to expect. And pretty much everything he said, he nailed it on the head. Dustin is a fantastic instructor. He wants you to get it right. And something I've been taking away a lot from pretty much every class is slow down, let the moment sit, let the moment simmer. If you do some awesome move, what's the point if you're just going into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing? You gotta. It's an interaction with the crowd, and you don't let them interact if you just move on to the next thing. And I could go on for hours about what we've been learning, and it's just been an incredible experience all around. Dustin, El Rayo, all the trainers up there.
What's been the hardest thing for you to pick up or to learn, being new?
It's just got kind of that process of putting it all together. You can go through and learn arm drags for an hour, and we did that. That was a lot of fun, might not be the right word, but that was pretty intense. And then you can hit all your moves and you can hit all the individual spots, but what happens when you put it all together? That's when your character comes together. That's when you come together as a wrestler. So that's something that's just going to come with time and experience, and I'm glad I got to be at a place like Rhodes Wrestling Academy that will teach you that.
Marcus, got a couple questions you'd like to ask?
Yeah. So Vrgo, you've never been in a wrestling ring before you stepped in the ring down there?
Nope. First time I walked into a RWA ring was the first time I set foot in a ring. Actually, a couple of years ago, if y'all are familiar with Party World Wrestling down here, they used to be set up at a brewery, and I had the chance to, I love wrestling, so I was just standing by their setup ring. It was like a couple days before a show, and I'm like, I could just go in there and run around the ring for a while. That'd be awesome. But then it hit me like, I don't deserve that. I want to wait until I'm ready to get into a ring, and I did that, and man, it's been awesome.
You're from Texas, I take it then?
Originally from upstate New York, Syracuse. Came down to Texas about almost 10 years ago.
Okay. What's the weather like, guys? Is it hot?
You're going to get two different answers on that. I'll let Brodie lead off on that one.
I don't think hot's the word. It's fucking brutal. It is. The first day I got down here, it was 112.
Oh, shit.
And I'm driving down here, and ironically, my car doesn't have air because the compressor went out on it, so I bypassed the belt. And so I've got all the windows down, and I got my car is loaded, packed with suitcases and duffel bags and stuff I want golf stuff. I wanted to golf down here, and so I'm sticking my arm out the window trying to get some of that cool air, and I stick my arm out the window, and it's not even any better. And I'm not even realizing, but I'm sitting there frying. I got my arms all red because it's just getting sunburnt from the window. But yeah, it's been brutal down here, especially working. Man, it's been sweaty and nasty, and but for about the last week, it's been down, and the highs have been like anywhere from 50 to 70 ish. So that's been great. Like the last couple weeks have been pretty cool, but first week they were hot.
So is that affecting your cardio then and your workout rate then?
Yeah, it is. I mean, any climate change, like going to Colorado. There's that elevation change. So it's everything is affecting what you do. Came down here, and my cardio was shit. Cardio is still shit. But it's gotten better. My body's gotten stronger. Being able to go work out and stuff like that outside of the camp, and then not only do we do study professional wrestling. Dustin's old school, and they studied how to work out back in the day. So he's installed that into us. So we have a workout that we do every day before we even get to touch the ring. So, and it can be, depending on what he chooses what we do, it can be brutal.
So then what's your take, Virgo? You say that you're not hot?
I don't know if I can say that. Texas, I wish I could remember the number. It's something crazy. We had like 100+ day or 80+ days of 100-degree weather, and then 40 days of 105+ degree weather. So this year was a little bit more intense. I can handle that for a while, but it does start to drag on. I'm kind of used to it at this point. You just kind of have to figure your way around it. Like, I like to get cardio outside because who wants to run on a treadmill? So in the middle of the summer, I do it all year round, but there's a Thursday morning run club I do, and it's at 6 a.m. And people ask how you get up at 5 in the morning to go do that, and the answer is it just sucks. There's no secret trick to doing it. You just got to get up and do it, and it's terrible, but it's the only time that it's going to be less than 90 degrees outside, so you got to go do it.
This question's for both of you. One thing that you absolutely have loved about this camp, and one thing that you have really disliked about this camp.
I guess for me, I can go on and on about the things I liked about the camp. I want to give a shout out to the other students. There's varying levels of experience in that class. RWA does welcome newcomers like myself, and we have plenty of people like Brodie Bodkins, Corey Constantine. A lot of alliteration there, but a lot of the vets, like they've been helpful with other people, but also they're not stepping on the toes of the trainers and letting the trainers teach us Dustin's way. But it's super helpful. You can go up to anybody and ask how your match went, and they'll tell you. The camaraderie is really unlike anything else. And growing up, I never even played organized sports. So like I hear people say, oh, it's like you know, you and your football team's like going to war. I thought that was a little corny, but it's kind of true. Like I get it with these guys. It really feels like we accomplished something together. Now, as far as what I didn't like so much about the class, it's really I just wish we had more time. Like I feel like I'm putting it all together now. It's all coming together, but our time at camp is almost done. So it's just I wish I just had another month, more matches, more matches, more matches. Just get that experience under my belt.
So the show. Or go ahead, Brody.
Yep.
My bad.
I'd say what I like about the camp the most is just being able to come down here and learning from a guy that's, like I said, been doing it for 30 plus years. He has 30 plus years TV experience. His dad is probably in the top, most people's top 5 as greatest of all time to ever do it. His brother is killing it right now in the Fed. So just being able to come down here and learn from him, and all aspects, whether it's psychology, whether it's his way of doing things, that's probably been the best thing. This has been the best experience of wrestling for me because I've got to learn from somebody that has a sentimental value to me. Because a lot of people don't know, but I'm named after Dustin because my dad's favorite wrestler was Dusty. My mom told him no about Dusty because he wanted to name me Dusty. My mom told him no, so they decided on Dustin. So not only did it have like a sentimental value, it also has like I want to further my career. I want to live this life for as long as my body, my health, and everything lets me live it. As far as the worst thing, the workouts were pretty brutal, but I have to go with time. Like Anker said, like it's a 12-week course, and he could do a year course. He could, but then it takes more time away from him feeding his family. So he only has so much time to do it, and he's such a great guy. Like a lot of people don't know him, and a lot of people haven't hung around with him. We've had the graciousness of him being there. Sometimes in other camps he wasn't there as much as he has been with our camp, but we've had the opportunity to learn from him a lot. It isn't like you come in and he has a trainer. He does have a trainer. Eric is great, and he's trained by Dustin. But I mean, Dustin has been here a lot. So for us, we got privileged with that. So just having more time with him, because like he's so knowledgeable that he can just teach you something every time he gets you into the film room, or he gets you into the workout room. He can just teach you so much, and he has so much versatility to him.
This one would be for both of you as well. How has this experience maybe changed your outlook on pro wrestling?
For me, I mean, again, I have no experience, so this is all new to me, and I'm just kind of getting it all at once. I just think back to like a few years back, just having beers with my friends, watching wrestling, and saying like, "Oh, this person's awesome. Oh, this person sucks." Like, no, they don't. Like, I now that I know what goes into this and how hard it is to do a 4-minute match with somebody where you just hit a few spots and you go home, that shit's hard. Like, it is not like taking a super kick. You think it's just stand there and then lay down. Like, nah, there's a very specific way you got to fall. You got to fall safely. You got to fall quickly. It's just so much going into it. So next time I crack open a beer and watch the Royal Rumble, it's not going to be the same. And I'll even notice spot probably a couple months ago now that Rhea Ripley slammed Kevin Owens on the outside, a scoop slam, and the crowd's like, "Oh, she just slammed Owens," blah blah blah. But I'm looking at that like that was a crisp scoop slam. That was nicely done. Like, I'm just looking at form now and just noticing so many things that I never thought about as a fan.
What's changed for me is, I came down here with a little bit of knowledge, and you never know everything about pro wrestling. You just don't. There's always room to learn more and more and more. And I'm sure, like, Dustin's told us, like, each and every person doesn't teach it the same. Everybody teaches different. So just like I said, it's the psychology for me. It's like he sat us down and he's told us, we went back and watched some old WCW matches. We watched some newer matches. I think we watched Owen and Bulldog back in the '90s or whatever it was, and he broke it down to us, and it left a memory in my brain of the psychology that wrestling used to have, and that there is two different styles of wrestling. There is a 2023 style of wrestling, and then there is the 80s style of wrestling. And I forget who asked the question in class, but somebody asked the question in class of like, how do you mix it up? How do you keep yourself relevant? He said you got to take some of that 2023 and you got to put it with that 80s, and you just got to mesh it real well, and you got to know how to do it. And the way that he was talking about how he kind of does things just blew my mind, because the psychology he had to doing those things was top tier. So probably be my answer.
Yeah, because I mean, psychology means so much. I mean, probably my favorite match that I've seen in AEW so far was Cody and Dustin had a match against each other. Probably, to me, that's the best match they've had so far. I know they've had a lot of good matches, and I'm not putting AEW down in any way, but to me, because of the story and the psychology in that match, I think that was the best match AEW's put out.
Yeah, he goes as far as praising Cody pretty big for that match. He praises Cody a lot. He acknowledges that Cody's really good, and a lot of people seen on Cody's documentary that Cody was really good at other things, other sports when he was going through high school, and he was really dedicated to it. So, I think Dustin's even said there was no doubt in his mind that if he was to do professional wrestling, that he would excel at it. And he has. Like I said, Cody's tearing it down right there in the Fed right now. And that's I think I asked that personal question myself. I said, I think, what's your favorite match of your career? And he said that the Cody match with him in AEW had to be probably number one, number two for him.
Marcus?
Can you walk us through a typical day of your training?
Yeah, we wake up. Some people go work out, some people don't. Some people work out at night. I think me and Ankur both chose to work out at nighttime. So on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we didn't really work out because we'd get a workout in class. So you'd show up to class and go in, you'd work out. He'd get you in the ring and teach you, something new each week. And at the end of it, we got to where we were running matches and starting to put stuff together. So people that had no experience felt what it was like to put a match together, and the people that had experience could get help on their areas of not being so good in the match. That way he could take that psychology that I'm talking about and implement it, because maybe we were off just a hair. And his little tweaks and his little, edits to the matches were phenomenal. So, putting it all together, and then, at the end of the day, you got to pay your dues. Clean the ropes, clean the ring, and the mats.
And during the classes, you guys work on like promos and working the crowd and all that stuff as well?
Good.
Yeah, we've done a few promos, and working the crowd's a little hard because it's a private class. But when we're having our matches, obviously everybody's watching, and you kind of use that as a way to experiment. And I mean, that's been another benefit of the class, is just experimenting, trying a bunch of different stuff, seeing what works. Like, now's the time to get that and see if it doesn't work. Because I mean, who cares? There's nothing on the line. It's just your fellow students and the trainers. So go for it.
Yeah, Virgo, this is questions for you. Since you're new and this is your first training, what do you think you're doing really well right now? It's something you think you're excelling at, and what's something you think, hey man, I suck, and I really gotta step this up?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, for this answer.
I'd say physically I'm coming along pretty well. I had a few injuries I've been dealing with all year, so I wasn't even sure I'd make it to camp, but I did. And first couple weeks, my legs were jello doing some pretty simple stuff, but that's been coming along together well, and it's kind of helped me build an offense together. And also, selling and building stuff, you got to be in decent shape for that. As far as what I struggle with most, I'm not sure you guys have enough time, but I'll just say, like I said, putting those matches together, putting it like making everything make sense, remembering your spots, remembering all that. I have ADHD. I have a terrible memory, so if you just tell me I'm going to hit these 6 moves, then you're going to hit me with this, and then we're going to go do that and this and that. Like, great. I'm not going to remember any of that. So just kind of working on that with my opponent, making sure we got it down pat is something that's very important, something I need to work on. And it's something that Dustin's emphasized too, like it's okay to communicate in the ring. Like it's a group effort here. We gotta make sure the match works, and it's better to have a hold and then go to the next spot than just try and figure it out and then you run into each other and it looks weird.
Marcus, do you have anything else?
Yeah. Virgo, where are you gonna go from here? Since this is your first training, you got a company you're going to work for, or?
That's $1 million question. Or in my case, the hot dog and a handshake question. Yeah, after this, it's a little strange because you're so structured in your 12 weeks at RWA. It's like, you have to be at a certain place for 3 months. Now I'm kind of on my own. And, there's more training that I am going to pursue because I don't think you're a pro wrestler in 3 months of training. It's just not how it works. There are people that I've met from camp. Brodie's one of them. Dad Bod, a pretty popular wrestler down here in Austin, Texas. I'm going to train more with him for sure. He's got a ring set up. He's got Slam Portal Wrestling, and he also does work for Party World I mentioned earlier. So just going to be more training. Try and get whatever matches I can book, and keep developing Vrgo.
Is there a bump that you really hate taking so far? A move or something that you say? I mean, I hope I don't have to take that too much.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Something I never really thought about when I was a fan watching wrestling was bump and feeding. So if I hit you with a punch, you bump, get right back up for the next punch. That's tough. Like you gotta bump quickly and safely and spring back up, but also you don't want to just make it look like you're doing a little kip up and you're not feeling the move at all. Like that's really tricky, and they're not the most painful bumps, but they're hard. Like that's where I mess up a lot, is bumping awkwardly on those because I'm thinking too much about getting up for the next one. And also the spine buster bump, that one sucks.
I bet.
I bet it does.
Does he really? I bet he does, but does he really harp on selling?
Yeah, I mean, as much as anything else, it's an important part of the match. I don't know, Brodie, what would you say?
Yeah, I mean, he's real big on like I told you, 80s wrestling. And back in the day, you didn't see a lot of the no selling. Somebody hits their finisher, it's called a finisher for a reason. It finishes the matches. So people no selling a finisher or kicking out of a finisher just to kick out of a finisher, like he said, makes no sense. It has to be used in a special moment, a special match, maybe a title match, maybe a ladder match, or DLC match, or some gimmick match. Those are the special times that you pull that stuff out. And I feel like what Dustin's trying to say when it comes to that is we see it just a little too often. You don't ever, see an old school 80s style finish as much as you do the 2023 style wrestling finishes. Everything ends up in a roll up now. And like you said, there's a place for that on the card. There is. There is a place for them on the card. It's the Young Bucks. He praises them, and he praises them for that style of wrestling. He's Young Buck style. He's not a fan of, but he does praise them for their work, because without that style of wrestling, wrestling isn't what it is today.
And I just want to go off of that. I was so excited the day that he told us, like, you guys aren't kicking out of finishers. I hate everybody kicking out of finish all the time. I was so relieved to hear that, because I remember a few years ago when Brock had the title and he faced Samoa Joe and had this whole run from like SummerSlam to Mania, I think. He was beating everybody on one F5, and I remember my friend saying at the time, "Oh, I can't believe he's just beating everyone with one F5. This is lame. Like, it's an F5. It ended the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. You're not supposed to kick out of it. Like, what are we doing here, guys? It's called the finisher move." And so I was just really happy when Dustin said, "Don't kick out of finisher moves unless it's a really, really big moment."
Yeah, I've seen guys take Canadian destroyers off the top rope and kick out at one, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Or stand up and throw something offensively.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, it shows your resiliency in a match, and as long as it didn't, in a real fight, as long as it didn't kill you, you're probably gonna get back up from it. But even in a real fight, if I punch you in the mouth, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna be grabbing your jaw. You're gonna be doing something.
It's going to take you a little bit of time to react.
Yes.
Right. You're not just gonna pop up and hit a super kick out of nowhere, you know. So that's why and back to the question with selling. Dustin is real big on something. He says if you don't sell the move, then the move didn't mean anything. It doesn't have any effect because you didn't sell it. So I can sit here and throw 5,000 super kicks. If you don't sell not one of them, then it looks like I just kicked in air.
Brody, this is kind of for you because you had some experience. When you got down there, did you learn something maybe that you had been doing that you were doing maybe wrong or wasn't as good at as you thought you were?
Yeah, a lot. Just hit, like I said, I have to revert all the way back to, like I just say all the time, his psychology. I was doing some things that in the ring that I thought made sense, but in his brain it didn't make sense. And I tell him sometimes I do this in my match. He's like, "Why? You're a big guy. Big guys don't arm drag people. We just run them over." So I don't really throw arm drags out a lot, but the stuff that a big man shouldn't do, and some of the big stuff, or some of the stuff a big man should do, is really what he taught me, and really what he was big on me with. Now, other students, like I said, they all work different styles, and I can't wait for Showcase 9, and it's in his photo. But in that showcase, I can't wait to see the matches that come up, and I can't wait to see these people work other people, because these people that are going to be working, they're phenomenal, and we don't know the matches yet, and so just to see who Dustin's going to place with who is like you're chomping at the bit for it, because like if that guy is versus that guy, it's going to be a good match, because it's just at the end of the day, he's installed a lot of knowledge into all of us, and it's going to be a great showcase.
Marcus, do you have anything?
Yeah, well, just on the back to the old school, the three of us guys have been getting around. I don't know if you know that, but we've been working pretty hard. We actually seen a match end in a black slide just this past week. I can't even remember who it was. But
Can't remember who it was now either, but yeah.
I know me and Chris were like, "Are you kidding? A backslide? Who does that anymore?" And the match actually ended with a backslide. And TJ Powers has been using pile drivers and winning, and you don't see that anymore. So there's some people out there trying to bring that back. But can you describe the facility you guys are in? Is it like the performance center that we see on TV, or what's it like?
I don't want to go too deep into detail, because like Dustin says, he runs a private school because we pay a good amount of money to go to this school and to learn from him. So that's for us to learn at, and for nobody to be able to distract us or anything like that. I will say he does have multiple rings, and he does have a good system going in, and it's great. He really cares about his students. He doesn't have to do half the stuff that he has. Air conditioned building, he don't have to do that. He could be in there running your guys' ass in 112-degree weather.
Don't say that too loud, Brody.
But yeah,
tomorrow.
he could just be in there, make you guys shit getting it and really hot weather. But like I said, he cares about his students. He cares about his passion a lot. He cares a lot about his passion. And that's his main thing is he cares.
How many people's actually in the class? Or are you allowed to say that too?
I think this class started with 18 students.
Yeah, 18, I think.
And I think there's 15 left. I'm not going to disclose what happened to them, but yeah, a few of them dropped out or whatever, had some issues where they had to go take care of some stuff. So, yeah, I can't really tell you the honest thing about what happened to them, but I'm sure they had something to go take care of, or maybe an injury. So it's disclosed to us about what happens to the guys. You show up one day and they're there, and you show up the next day and they're gone. It's like, don't ask questions. Just you keep your nose to the ground and try to learn as much from the person that you paid to learn from.
Is there women there too, or is it just all guys?
There's been a couple females. Yeah, there's a couple. Female wrestlers?
Okay, you say this showcase is on November 19th. What time does that start? Because that's not on there, I don't think.
It will be 7 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. Central time.
That's on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be put on YouTube.
He's actually plugging the YouTube right there. It's Rhodes Wrestling Academy on YouTube. You can go subscribe to that. Showcase will air November 19th, and on that page, like I said, I personally can't wait. He might have another opinion or something that he might want to say on top of that.
Yeah. Well, there is one match we can talk about. We got the Rhodes Wrestling Academy's first ever battle royal. The winner will get a title shot. It'll be in a triple threat with Hit and 2 White Shane. And yeah, that just knowing the talent that we have going into that match, that's going to be an awesome battle royal.
I forgot he did announce that battle royal. And like he said, the talent that's going into that battle royal, I'm a part of the battle royal, so is he. But the talent that's going in there is phenomenal. I can't wait. The guys are all great talent. They work their asses off, all 12 weeks, and they deserve it.
We had a question from somebody in the comments section here. It said, when you guys are training there, are there certain meals that you have to eat?
No, it's been they had a nutrition class lined up, but there were some scheduling issues with that, and it ended up falling through. But generally, that's up to you. And like I said, there's a lot of camaraderie among the students, so we do talk to each other about what kind of stuff do you eat, what do you do before and after class, stuff like that. And, yeah, that part is more or less up to you.
For the most part, it's like he said, it's your deal. They bring you in, they train you and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you still go home. So it is what it is. For instance, my boy here, he's vegan. So there's a lot of things that he don't eat that I do eat. Meat, eggs, dairy. So our lifestyles sharing this apartment has been 2 totally different lifestyles when it comes to that. I buy stuff that he don't buy, and he buys stuff that I don't buy. Now, I did try some vegan burgers and some vegan chicken patties, and they were phenomenal. I couldn't tell, but no, it's personally what you want to do. I'm sure if you was to ask Dustin or Terrell or Coach Eric at the beginning of the camp, like, hey, is there certain stuff like I should be doing diet-wise? They're probably going to say like, hey, yeah, stay away from this, stay away from that. Try to cut down on this, try to cut down on that. But everybody's body's different when it comes to processing carbs, sugar, and all the vitamins that you get from food. Some people store that. Some people store it good. And some people can eat what they want, not gain a pound, and somebody goes out and eats a Chinese buffet and they gain 4 pounds. It's just everybody's body's different. So I think that's probably why they don't implement a meal system, because until yesterday, they didn't even know Vrgo was vegan. And so I was like, you got to tell me this. Like, this is stuff I need to know. And so they would have to do a lot more deeper than they already do details about our life. They get pretty deep with it.
Yeah, and kind of growing off what Brodie said, everybody's needs are different too. Like we have Jimmy House, look him up on Instagram. He's a monster of a human being. And
hey, you guys think somebody's big? That dude is huge.
He is. He ain't 6 feet tall, but he's enormous. I'll put it that way. Yeah, that guy's food needs are different than Brodie's, who are different than mine, who are different from T.Y. Shane. It's all, you kind of have to do a little bit of your own legwork there.
He's literally a 5'9" Hulk.
Yeah.
Really?
He is built like a shit brick house. He puts a lot of time and effort, and he does BJJ, and he does lifting competitions and stuff like that. So he takes a lot of time out of his day to feed himself properly, train himself properly, and implement now professional wrestling into his already busy enough schedule. So that guy has been a inspiration booster for everybody. He is the most kindest guy, most gentle person when it comes to emotion or physicality. He's a great guy all around.
Yeah,
as most of the guys are in camp.
And if you're listening to us describe Jimmy House and you want to see what this human freak is like, he will be in the Battle Royal. So check it out November 19th. That's going to be our problem to deal with, but we'll deal with it.
Mm-hmm. You guys know me, I like running people over. I got to come up with a strategy for that.
Marcus, you got anything else?
No, I think I got everything off my list.
Well, was there anything else, Vrgo, that you wanted to talk about that we didn't hit?
Oh yeah, gotta get this one off my chest. So I'm from Syracuse originally. I see that Colts hat on your draped over there. They took Marvin Harrison, Dwight Freeney out of Syracuse, so I just followed them on over. Got to ask you guys how you feel about the season. It's a weird one.
It has been weird with losing Richardson so early in the season. And then our defense has kind of been letting us down a little bit more than the offense, even having the second string quarterback starting. So
we could easily only have 1 or 2 losses right now too, though. So, I mean, we've been competitive, but we're hanging in there.
Me and Vrgo have the same outlook on quarterbacks. The exact same.
He's being sarcastic.
No, like we're both big football fans, and like he said, it's been a weird one. You guys kind of hit on that too. Losing Richardson so early in the season was very, very vital to us. I think there's a lot of things that they could do to, even with Minshew. Minshew isn't a horrible quarterback. He's a solid backup, and we just paid. JT, and for the first 2 games, I think he maybe had like 12 touches. our O-line is atrocious, and our defense couldn't stop a broom handle from falling over.
Has been lately.
So just an all-around, has to be an all-around team effort to try to get us back into the playoffs. Because I was getting ready to kick him out of the apartment because he wasn't agreeing that we were going to go undefeated. I'm glad he didn't agree because I looked stupid.
Should have put money on that.
He should.
We have been more competitive than we were last year.
Yeah.
That is.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I try to forget last year. That was a rough one.
We're hoping that we're going to have a draft pick or some way we're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Colts somehow, some way.
I've been praying for it, but I don't think we're going to be picking that high. And Chris Ballard, he's not going to trade up. I don't know that he's ever traded up in the first 2 rounds.
I don't think he has.
I think the owner may force him to or try to.
Yeah, but every time Jim Irsay tries to get involved, it doesn't go well. So I'd rather he just
not
keep his
normally.
hands
Yeah,
off.
that's true.
And we saw what happened with that last year.
Yeah.
Brody, was there anything that you wanted to hit on that we didn't get to?
Not really. Show's been season Marks has been to 84 shows in 2023. How's the show's been back all around? I mean, obviously I haven't been there since August, but how's the show's been going?
Most of the shows have been going good. I mean, I really don't have any shows to complain about. So, again, like I said, the backstage stuff's been kind of weird here lately, but the actual product's been good. We've seen some amazing stuff here over the summer. Jordan James and Funny Bone, I don't know if you've seen that, but that's one hell of a hardcore match that Chris and I and Tony keep shaking our head over. That was just unbelievable.
Jordan James and who?
Funny Bone. It's a guy they brought in from Las Vegas.
That was a really good match. I really enjoyed that match. I've been trying to keep up with all the shows and
That's the first time I've ever been at a show when the whole crowd was chanting violence.
Yeah. I heard that and I was like, wow, they really want Jordan James to get messed up. So it was a heck of a show. But yeah, I really think Jordan James is a great performer. He's a great guy to work with. So I'm sure Funny Bone had a hell of a time working. He probably praised him just as much time.
Well, how many? Well, we've been to, Dad, 54?
51.
51. We've been to 51 shows this year.
51. That's it. You guys are good. You guys are getting out there. I like what you guys do. I like you guys' product. You guys give us workers opportunity to display our craft through another page, through another 4, 5, 6, whatever, how many guys streaming apps you guys put this on. Obviously YouTube and Facebook being the 2 important ones. You guys recording the shows, a lot of people have to understand, like, you guys do us a favor because you guys are putting that out there on your page, and all your subscribers and your viewers get to see us, and then that gets people to talk, and it gets other people talking, and then next thing you know, everybody's talking about Jordan James or Dalton Love, they're talking good things about this guy. It helps you get booked to promoters out there, farther parts of the world. It could be vital to your career.
And Brody Kelly wanted to know what's your plan when you get back.
Oh, Kelly, killing me here. Obviously, I have some personal things I need to do when I get back. First thing I do when I get back, I'm going to go see my damn daughter. I miss that girl a ton. Just watching her grow up over a phone, one, isn't fair to her, isn't fair to me, but it's been a joy because now she's walking and saying certain words, and so it's getting to watch her grow up on. As far as when I get back, it's my plan for wrestling. I'm just going to tear it up everywhere. I want to get booked everywhere. I want to have great matches with anybody they put me in there with. I know Jared Bird was on here last night, and when you guys started plugging tonight's episode, I didn't like the look on his face. I'd like to walk into DCCW's locker room and smack the look right off of his face. But
I'd like to see that.
A lot of people ain't liking Jared anyway for a lot of different reasons.
My plan has always been to be at the top. So when I get back, a lot of people know the promotions I work for. WCWO, DCCW, AACW. I want to be the top guy ever. You have to want to be the top guy, or what are you doing? Just wasting time. And so obviously I'm gonna keep working my ass off until I am top guy everywhere. And Marcus Fine and Tony and Chris Gonzalez are talking about Brodie Bodkins all the time.
Just so you know, Kelly turned heel on us.
I've been seeing a couple things. At the Dub, you already know who her favorite heel is at the Dub, so this is what it is.
That Royal Rumble thing at Kokomo, she slipped the cane to Mike King in the middle of the match. So,
so she was Mike King fan.
Yeah, I think she's Mike's new manager.
She probably didn't like what I said earlier about smacking the fruit off.
Well, that's what I said. You got to watch it because she's on Mike King's side. You might see the cane, the Hall of Fame cane, hit your head, but
I've never backed down from anybody. She can get these hands too. As long as she steps through those ropes, she can get them too.
Vrgo, you got any plans on coming up here sometime?
Oh, absolutely. I've been dying to go to a Colts game, so I'm going to make a whole trip of it. Go see the Colts, get a dub. Go wrestle Brodie, get a dub. Easy weekend.
Wait a minute.
Well, just let us know when you do.
Don't worry about it.
Get a dub.
Well, yeah, just let us know when you do.
Maybe you could do it at the Dub. Maybe you could get a dub at the Dub.
I understand that some people have very, very rational dreams and thoughts, but in reality, he says he's going to get a dub. I hope Joey's watching, and the weekend that he comes up, that he chooses to come up and catch that Colts game, I hope Joey lets him come in and work. And I would love to work him. Be an honor to be able to showcase what we've learned from our trainer, and be able to showcase that to Indiana through us doing it instead of our trainer showing what he installed in us. I know Jake Elliott's been in my inbox. Something's going on with that guy. At AACW, when I left, he slapped me. So obviously I got some business to handle with him, but when I get back, I don't know when I'll be back, but when I get back, I got business to handle around the Midwest area.
A lot has changed since you left, because one of your guys you was associated with and now you don't get along with is retiring.
Well, yep.
Who's that?
Justin Terrell.
Justin Terrell is retiring.
He says that he's been saying that for a year now. I think Justin Terrell, his in-ring ability is very, very good. He's one of my, our match back in 2021 was really one of my favorites here recently. But he's been saying that it's hard, and not just for him. It's for everyone. This is addicting. It's literally like a drug. Literally, like, you tell somebody that you tell LeBron James they can never play basketball again because of an injury,
Okay.
or because, of some condition, it breaks his heart. He's a basketball player. That's what he's done his whole life. And some of us spend our whole lives trying to make it to the mountaintop, and some people get there and some people don't. And Dustin said it a few times, and he says it really well. This business is made for some people. The business is not made for some people. Not everybody's made to be a professional wrestler. And I'm just glad I can be able to say that he dedicated 15 years of his life, or 16, I think it is, 16 years of his life to professional wrestling, because he shares the same passion and love for the business that I share.
Speaking of Jake Elliott, he's on here and he said, "That's right. If you want it, come get it, big boy."
I think at this point I have bigger fish to fry. I don't know when I'll be back. I really don't. I wish I could say I'm coming back next week. I wish I could say I'm coming back next month. But things are going really well down here. So I don't know when I'll be back. I might stay down here for a couple more months. Might stay down here for a couple more days. You never know. I'm going with the flow of things. So I'll handle him when I get back. I was just in that case, I was just referring to your guys' question earlier, or Kelly's question earlier, like what's some things that you want to do when you get back? And he's one of the ones I have to handle when I do get back, whenever that.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on. And Vrgo, you're welcome to come back on the show again. I know Brodie's been on a few times, and we'll definitely have him back on. But I'd like to definitely talk to you some more after you get some more matches under your belt and get to kind of see how your experience is and everything.
Hell yeah, definitely. And I just want to thank you guys. Like, I'm some schmuck coming out of a wrestling class. It's not like I have a big pedigree or anything. So I just appreciate the opportunity to, come and think of it. This is the debut of Vrgo, so this has been very exciting.
And then hopefully when you are in Indiana, if you get to work at some of these promotions, we'll get a chance to check you out.
Absolutely. Can't wait.
We want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter,
Chris and
Instagram.
Tony, I'm sorry to hijack the end of the show and your little saying, but I have a little special thing for Marcus.
Uh-oh.
And
He's in.
Marcus is a good fan. He does a lot of traveling, but at the end of the day, like when I seen this, I thought of Marcus and I had to give it to him. So I'm gonna present that on camera if you don't mind.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed it.
You hang out in Austin, you start acting like Austin.
A Texas bird, huh? I got a Texas bird.
It's straight from Texas.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I'm sorry, that's had to
Oh,
get
no.
that in there. It's been a while since I talked or seen Marcus, so it's good seeing your guys' face. Brings back a little memories of home, and it feels good.
All right, well, we look
Thank you guys
forward
for having me.
to seeing you back here whenever you get back.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know when it is, but whenever I do, I'm sure you guys will see me pop up somewhere.
Yep.
Right now, I want to say that I'm gonna stay till at least January, just because it's going real well, and might have a chance to learn from Dustin a little bit more. But I think January is a safe bet to say. Might come home for a couple of days just to see my daughter and stuff like that, but fly back down after that.
All right. Well, like I said, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Also, check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on all social media. This has been GWR, Gonzo's Wrestling Room, and we will see you guys next time.
Have a great night.
Okay.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Oh! This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.